Hey there, so today's project is to replace my whole house filter system for our well. About a year and a half ago, we had a well put in as part of the building of our new house. The well is way out there in the back, and the water comes in down the back of the house and then around the side here and then into this area here. At the time when the builders were building the house, they were actually offering to put in a 2-filter system. We chose to upgrade Aquabon whole house filter system. It's the 3-filter system. And the reason why we did that, a little bit more assurance that the water is getting purified. And so this system filters all the water in the house. So everything that goes up to the faucets, anything that goes out the hose bibs. So you can drink the water outside from the hose bibs and it's filtered right from here. You can, drink the water from the kitchen, from the refrigerator, from the faucets, anything. It is filtered with this 3-filter Aquabon system. But with like everything else, that comes with maintenance. The first 6 months we had the filter system, there's so much sediment from a brand spanking new well. There was a lot of sediment. I had to replace this out twice last year, twice in 6 months. And then it settled down, and now I'm on to about a 6-month replacement cadence. And it's interesting because we know exactly when the filters need to be replaced because the pressure coming out of the faucets goes down to almost nothing, but it's definitely noticeable, especially like if you flush the toilet and you put the sink on at the same time, it's definitely noticeable. The second I replace these out, pressure will go back to full force, no issues. I have to take off these 3 filters, and I'm going to buy off of Amazon the Aquabon whole house water filter set. I have it on subscribe and save, so it just shows up every 6 months, and I have it come about a month before I know I have to replace them. That way I know I have it, because I do my subscribe and save once a month. It's a pack of carbon block water filter, a pack of KDF water filter, and a pack of sediment water filter. I'll put a link below for you to, if you have one of these systems, saves you, I think, depending on how big your subscribe and save is, anywhere from 5% to 15%. I do a lot of subscribe and save, so I get the 15% off. I'm not gonna lie, they're not cheap. They're about $100. I will say that these are not they're easy to replace once you get the hang of it. Practice makes perfect, so I'm gonna go turn the breaker off, and then we're gonna replace these one at a time. Make sure you have a bucket, because once you start unscrewing these you need this thing to kind of undo that. I'll show you in a bit. Once you unscrew them, the water comes out, so you need a bucket underneath. That's kind of the project this morning. It'll probably take me about an hour to do, only because of all the different steps I have to go through. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to show you our little setup here. So like I said, this is the Aquabon whole house filtration system. You can see it's still pressurized. And this is our 30-gallon water holding tank, and that's still pressurized, which is fine. I've turned off the well pump from outside, so water won't come in. And what I'm gonna do is, my first thing is I'm gonna turn off the whole house bib valve. Everything is pre-labeled. And then I'm also gonna turn off the water to the filters. There we go. And then I'm gonna turn off the main valve. I turn off everything just to be on the safe side. So I've got actually that's the hose bib. I didn't need to turn that off. Anyways, I'll put it back on later. Anyways, that's the main valve. That's the outside hose bib. And that's to the filter system. So I've just got everything turned off here, so that way, just in case. And you can see the pressure is coming down. All right, we'll give that a minute to decompress. So the next step is, you should see here, there are these little dots. These are the pressure valves. And what we'll do here is oops, and see that's what I mean. Water starts coming out. Oops. These will all register at 0 once all the pressure's out, and this will allow me to make sure it's all gone. Yep, gone. All right, let's begin. Okay, so the pressure's off. So I'm gonna start with the sediment filter, which is the one on the far right, because that's the one that the water comes in from the tank, so you want the sediment captured first. It looks white, it is white. We'll see what the sediment that it captured, what it looks like once it's full. So then you take, this is the wrench, I guess, that takes off the blue capsule here. And I will say, this is a really tight area, so it's just really thick. So you gotta get it so that there we go. There we go. Once you get it loose the first time, it's pretty easy. I should be able to screw this in a bit. I don't know why they put that pipe back there like that, but it's a pain in the neck because it's in the way. I'm gonna take that off because this should now just... By the way, how I know they're all on the same way is the yellow tag I put in the front so that I know they're all on. When this is all said and done, the yellow tag tells me they're back on the right way. All right, here we go. See, I told you, lots of water comes out. Let's go let that drip for a minute. See, it's heavy. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. That's what that looks like. It's definitely not white. That's the sediment. And this has been since I replaced these 6 months ago. Okay, so the date I replaced these the last time was 2/14/26. The next due date I have on my schedule was 5/14. It's 5/23, so I'm only a week off, and that's what that looked like. It shows you just like how much is being filtered out and just how clean the water is, which is really nice. I mean, we live on a slope. Water comes downhill. It captures stuff along the way. So, anyways, I'm glad it's working, and I'm glad that stuff is not going into my body. Anyways. We're gonna go outside, we're gonna dump that out, replace it, and then we'll start on the second one. All right, so I'm gonna be cleaning this out outside. It's a kind of a nasty day here on the ridge, but I took advantage of doing some indoor chores. Anyways, wanted to show you, like in the daylight, like how gross that is. It's working. So let's dump this out. Take this out. Oh my goodness, it won't even come out. That is how much sludge is at the bottom. Somebody's stuck down there. Come on. Wow. There we go. Wow. That's crazy. All right, that's what that looks like. How much crap's in there? That's disgusting. And there's the rest of it stuck in the bottom there. No wonder this thing isn't working. I waited too long. I waited a week or too long, probably. That's really gross. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's that whole ring in the bottom. So I'm gonna go get the hose. I'm gonna clean this out. Oh, I can't. Well, that's the other problem. I screwed that up. I don't have any water. I don't have any water in my system. That's right. Oy. I forgot. It's turned off. All right, I'm an idiot. I have to figure out how to do this. All right, I had to go find a plan B. I forgot about that little piece of the puzzle. Be prepared to clean your things, but you have to have extra water so that you can actually clean them out because the water's off. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so when you're homesteading, sometimes you have to be creative when you forget things. Anyways, I got it cleaned because I went and used my rain barrels. So it's been raining here on the ridge for a week, and my rain barrels are very full, and they're very pressurized, and I was able to clean this bad boy out. And I created myself a bucket of water. Now we can go put this back on. So if you're a homesteader, rain barrels, rain capture. I have rain barrels everywhere, so in case you're ever interested. Some of our other videos, I have the rain barrels on the chicken house, the duck house. I actually have it up on the shed. The shed is in the front of the house. It's up at the top of the hill. It was one of the ways to control water flow that streams down the property. And I have 3 very full rain barrels right now, 3 50-gallon rain barrels. So I have 150 gallons of water up there. So it came in very handy today. All right, so I'm gonna put the very white sediment cartridge back in. That's how I know that was dirty. Usually you have to put this little ring in with it. I didn't have it on the other one. Put it back in. There's a hole at the bottom. If you don't get it right, it's very hard to put back on. All right, so I can move this out of the way for the moment. Actually, okay, let's see if we can do this. Like I said, I need this yellow tag. This one's proving me wrong. I need this yellow tag to basically go back in front. That one's on. Now we can start with the middle one. Just stand up and do that. There we go. Wasn't as much water in that one, which is good. All right. A little bit of water in this one. Okay. All right. This is, you can't really see anything. This is just an orange cartridge. So I'm going to go bring this out. Okay, well that one was much easier. There was just a little bit of sediment in the bottom. The bucket of water I got, was able to clean it out. And we're good to put the orange one back in. Orange one, this one's heavier for sure. This one I always struggle with. This is the KDF. Kinetic Degradation Fusion Filter. That's what that stands for. I have no idea what that means, but it must work. So again, I gotta put this in. I'm gonna put the hole down there, make sure that's on there. Plastic things on there. Okay, good. This out of the way. And see me struggle. Put this one back on. Okay, ready? This one's a lot heavier. I'm getting good at this. This is my 4th time replacing these, so just takes a little bit of muscle sometimes. All right. There. Okay. Yellow thing in front. All right, we're on to the last one. So it doesn't take very long once you get the hang of it, but there we go. All right, get this off. There. All right. There comes the water. Again, I learned this from the last 2 times, not letting the water drain a little bit. Oh my goodness. All right, this is the carbon filter, so there's just carbon in there. All right, there shouldn't be any sediment in this one. I'm gonna go take this out and I'll be back. All right, so this is the carbon filter. I took it out, it was black, only because the carbon dyes the outside of it. That's not a big deal. This one's white. We'll put these in. Make sure that's in the hole. All right, so let's get this on here. Last one, let's get the bucket out of here. Get it out of my way. All right, all 3 of them are back on. All right, you can see the 0 pressure there. We are going to turn the valves back on. I'm gonna put the valve from it comes from here, from the tank. Those will fill those up. Now I'm gonna go turn the circuit breaker back on and those should fill up. I will be right back. All right, we have water flow. Something is running. I gotta go find out what's running. Oh, it's filling the, like it's filling the water tanks. Look at that. Full pressure. And you know what? I can tell. Wow, that's a lot more pressure than there was. Okay. It's at 40%. It's exactly where I want it. Perfect. That's it. Easy peasy. It took me even less than an hour, and which is great. I'm very excited. So now I'm going to fill out my chart so I don't forget, so I know exactly when it needs to be replaced. And like I said, I gave it 6 months, and honestly, not even 6 months. I gave it 5 months, and it needed it. So it probably needs, little bit more often. I honestly didn't think I was going to need to do it more often, but it probably needs every 4 months, I think, because we started seeing the pressure decrease. So I'm going to put down here, we replaced it on, today is the, I think today's the 23rd. No, that was yesterday. Today's the 24th of May, and I replaced all of them. 4 months, 3 months. No, actually, I take that back. Okay, we need to start this whole thing over because it's only been 3 months. Wow, I don't know why I was thinking it was 6 months. Every 3 months, so that's crazy. I can't count. I can't even read my own chart. So I'm gonna put this down for 3 months. So we're in May, June, July, August. So I'm gonna put it down for August 24th, 26th. I'm telling you, if the sediment keeps going the way it is, it might be every 2 months, which is very expensive, $100. So hopefully the sediment, maybe it was from the spring sediment, because when I replaced them in February, it wasn't that bad. So I'm just wondering if it's from the rain and all of that. So I'm gonna put my notes down here, and then we'll see you again, hopefully in 3 months. All right, bye for now. Hey there, so today's project is to do it over again. I have a handy dandy little log here that tells me when the last time I did it. Anyways, so let's start this whole thing over again because I don't like that intro. Anyways, okay, so start over again.